So this is the OnePlus 13, and in this episode, I'm going to give you my honest review. This thing has stunning performance. It is an incredible value. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And right off the bat, I want to let it be known that OnePlus did send this phone out for review. I got this phone about a month ago, so I've had extensive usage with it already. And I got to tell you, I am very impressed with this product. You're going to find out why throughout this video. Now, this phone is going to start at $899 for the 12 gigabyte of RAM, 256 gigabyte model. The phone also comes in at 512 gigs for 16 gigs of RAM, which is the model you see here, and that's going to go for $999. So 2 storage options for this phone. I got the higher tier option here, and it comes in 3 different colors. It's going to come in Black Eclipse, the one you see here, which is the Midnight Ocean color, which is the nicest color. I would say it's the more new color here. And then we'll have Arctic Dawn, which is going to be their whiter color. Black Eclipse is the only one you can get for the base model. So if you want those other colors like this Midnight Ocean, you have to go with the $999 model. Now this phone also does have some nice accessories, including the one that they sent out to me, which is the Aramid Fiber magnetic case you'll see right here. So this will prop on here. We'll show how that looks a little bit later, but it allows you to put this phone on magnetic accessories and it gives it quite a bit of grip. And according to OnePlus, from January 7th through February 7th, you'll be able to get a free memory upgrade. Like you'll just be able to get the 16 gig 512 version for the same price as the base model. So might as well take a bit advantage of that deal if you're going to get it. Also, they're giving a guaranteed $100 trade-in on any phone in any condition. Plus, you can save up to $899 if you trade in an eligible phone. Certain phones are going to have more value than others. So this phone not only starts at less than the competition, you're also getting trade-in deals and you're going to be able to get instant upgrade to storage. So already the value is through the roof. All right, so let's just quickly look at what comes in the box. Now you get this little cardboard that says never settle with your usual books. Also get a SIM card tool, which I took out to put my SIM card in there. Quick guides, safety guides, and you'll get a USB. You'll see right here, you also do get yourself a OnePlus charger. Now this is going to be a Super VOOC charger. So this is going to be 80 watts max. So very fast charging, one of the fastest out there, much faster than the competition, which I love. Plus you don't have to pay for it. It's in the box. So that already increases the value. And of course the red cable club, you'll see the red cable. Now, the only thing I don't like is that it has the older USB-C instead of USB-C to USB-C because it's not as universal when I have other chargers that I want to plug this into. So in the future, I wish OnePlus would just switch that to USB-C to USB-C. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the key specs of this phone. So you're looking at a 6.82 inch display that is 3168 by 1440 pixels, and it is OLED for sure. It does have 1 billion colors, 800 nits of typical brightness, which is the ones you can use, 1600 nits in high brightness mode, so outdoor brightness, and then you do get yourself 4500 nits peak. So its peak brightness is some of the highest out there for sure, although I will say its typical brightness should be around 1000 on the next version or even higher, because the area that you can't actually see while it's very bright is not brighter than some of the other phones I've seen. So that's something I do want OnePlus to improve on. Now we do have a 50 megapixel triple camera on the rear with Hasselblad color science as well as collaboration. So you'll see the master mode in there, which is pretty cool. In addition to this, we do have ourselves 12 gigabytes of RAM and the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is the big deal this year because now we're seeing performance that is rivaling and beating a lot of the competition out there with the Snapdragon 8 Elite platform. This also has one of the industry's first silicone carbon batteries. Now these battery technologies last longer than lithium ion, and they're a newer, better standard, and they have 6,000 milliampere. So it will allow for a larger battery capacity as well. And this is going to push the industry forward. And I think we're going to see more of these batteries going forward. This also has an extended RAM mode you can do, and has a 32 megapixel front-facing camera. So those are the key specifications that matter here. And as you can see, OnePlus is not playing around. This phone is loaded with the high-end specs that you would like. All right, so let's talk about the design. Now, one thing I'm really loving about the OnePlus 13 is that it looks so different from the OnePlus 12. Yeah, it still retains that big camera bump, but definitely it's definitely looks different. And this is kind of reminding me of older Android phones where like year over year, it definitely feels and looks different. While it's not substantial, like life-changingly different, it's still different enough that I feel like I'm getting a totally different phone. And I really like that. Let's start with the first area that feels very different, especially on this midnight ocean color. You're going to see the industry's first microfiber vegan leather. So what is this? Well, it's a material on the back that is crafted to feel very, very luxurious. So it's actually inspired by luxury automobiles, is what they're claiming in the marketing material. So I don't know about that because I don't really buy a bunch of luxury automobiles, but I have sat in a few and I do feel how this could be leading to feeling like that. But overall, it just kind of feels like a nice leathery premium feel. I really do like it, and it's pretty grippy as well. It's not like super grippy, it's not sandstone grippy, but it's definitely nice, and it gives a really, really high-end feel to it. Then it's complemented by this chrome looking edge here, and while the shiny look definitely gives a premium feel on this phone, I'm not usually a huge fan of this shinier look because it does make for fingerprints. But if you like a shiny fancy look with that sheen to it, you'll really like this. But you can see right here I am picking up fingerprints, but at the same time it still looks really nice because it's shiny. But over time I worry if this is going to get scratched up or scuffed up. I've even seen phones before get scratched up and scuffed up with this kind of material with cases on. So we'll see. You'll see right there we do have ourselves the silence switch, which is kind of going away on phones, and OnePlus is keeping it around. There is ridges on the button there, so if you do swipe, you will be able to feel that very easily for this device. Also at the top, you're going to find yourself a microphone, but you'll also see the IR blaster. You can actually control TVs with this product. Pretty cool. Let's bring it off over to the right side. You'll see some more antenna lines. You'll see volume rocker and power button. Also, I don't know if you're noticing this, but the camera definitely sticks off the body, so you will feel it on a table. If I go ahead and place it down, not a ton of rock though. So it's pretty well balanced here, so you're not getting a ton of rock on this phone. And it actually looks like if you were to go ahead and type that you will not feel any rock. So they've nailed this here. Look, it's not rocking at all while typing. Even swiping up here from the right, I'm not feeling any rock, or up here from the left, I'm not feeling any rocking effect. So definitely they've nailed the balance here of the design. In addition, you'll see very thin bezels all across the board that look pretty uniform. So they actually look pretty good. Like they don't look like anything. There's no chin, there's no forehead, nothing like that. Everything is looking pretty good. I will say that the volume rocker and power button are pretty high up on the phone. So they're way up there. So I think if they could improve that, like bring these rockers down a little bit, it would be more ergonomically satisfying. So you will have to reach up there, but it's not a big deal. One of the main things I'm really noticing after using this for nearly a month already though, is how light it feels. At 210 grams, this phone just feels lighter than the OnePlus 12. It feels lighter than the competition, and it feels thinner as well. It just feels like this year we're going to be seeing thinner phones. So overall, on the whole, I'll say the design looks and feels premium. Even you could even say luxurious, especially on the Midnight Ocean. Ergonomically, they have nailed this product. This is one of the best feeling phones at 6.82 inches that I have felt in a long time. So I really do enjoy it. Now, if you're wondering, is that display actually flat? The answer is pretty close, but not quite. There's a slight dip. It's so slight that I feel like they're just one phone away from completely flat. It looks like it's just like a little bit of an edge. Some people might like that though, because it tends to make the phone feel smoother when you come on those back gestures. It gives it just a slight lip so you can feel that back gesture a little bit better. I personally really love it, but some people might not. If they want that extremely perfectly flat display, there's still a slight dip. Although, while the OnePlus 12 was already lowering its curves, the OnePlus 13 is even less so than this phone. This phone has more substantial curving on the edges. The 13, almost flat. It's just like just that close and it'll be fully flat. But the OnePlus 13R is flat. So you can go ahead and stay tuned for my upcoming content on that. All right, so let's talk about the display panel. It's a 6.282 inch display, so close to 6.9, but not quite. It's a big panel. Let's just put it that way. It's QHD plus. It's 120 hertz. And if we go into display settings, it does have obviously dark mode, light mode. You can turn on auto brightness. Over here, you have different screen color modes, which I really like. So you can go to natural, pro, and vivid. Now for the rest of this video, I'm going to leave it in vivid because it tends to look incredibly saturated and beautiful. And that's good for video because I do like how saturation looks on my videos. It makes them look a little more colorful. Now if you go ahead and look down here, you'll have warm, default, and cold. So you can change those temperatures. If you're like, this display just has weird cold looking whites, you can go ahead and put it on warm. So I like the granular control they're giving you right there. Under eye comfort and sleep, you have eye comfort, custom modes, and more. And one of the nicer features about these OnePlus products is this mode right down here, the ultra anti-flicker mode. Now what this does is it lowers the flicker that you'll see, which you can actually see they show an image of this. You also probably have seen this in some of my older phone reviews where it will showcase that, and then you'll be wondering why am I getting eye fatigue and headaches from this flickering, also known as PWM. You don't have to worry about that on this phone. That is a really, really nice feature, and I think you'll like it. Now, if we scroll down, you'll see we have different fonts, image sharpening, and you can also change the resolution to always be running in high 120 hertz or put it on auto select. Now personally, I leave it on auto select and it seems like it knows to stay in the higher mode most of the time because I don't really notice it being in like a standard mode hardly ever. So this one is very smart at this and it knows when to keep it smooth, and it's been basically flawless. So I will say that. Overall, tons of display features and settings. And when you go ahead and take a look at a video, let's go ahead and take a look at this copyright-free video. And you'll see as we scroll in, incredible detail, incredible sharpness. It is just really, really nice. So you'll see just really nice colors. Let's go ahead and swipe through here to find a different section. And you'll see the punch hole a little bit small, it doesn't get in the way. When you do turn on the silence switch, you'll see that little pop-up right there, stays out of the way in landscape. And overall, it just looks really, really good on this panel. So I think if you want to watch video, you want to see sharp content, you want a bright display, this is definitely playing at the flagship level all across the board. It also has really high pixel density. So when you are reading, things, you will see pretty high pixel density. So let's go over here to Google News, for example, and let's swipe over here into technology. And let's go ahead and just click an article up here. You'll see as we get closer to the text, very sharp, actually sharper than a lot of other competing phones out there. And there are phones that are sharper than this as well, but this one is playing up there with the sharpest in the industry. So overall, this phone just nails it with the display. You get granular control, really good color saturation, and really well-tuned accuracy. It doesn't look washed out, anything like that. I would like to see anti-reflective properties in the future if they could find a way. But definitely, other than that, this phone is playing at the top of the game. I do think they could raise the typical brightness as well. And I would like to see a mode where we can get the most brightness, but we can control the most brightness. Like give us a high brightness mode that we can turn on, not just when it's triggered by the sunlight. That could be an improvement for the next model. All right, so here's another nice feature of this display, glove mode. You see this? Do you wear winter gloves? I do. You'll see right here when I turn this on, this phone is smoother than most phones out there when you're wearing gloves. So I really like that OnePlus included this mode on this phone to give you much smoother performance. Now, of course, you're still going to want to use touchscreen gloves. If you wear gloves that have no type of kind of feel like a finger that can use this, you probably could still run into issues. But this doesn't even work very well on other phones. But on this phone, it works incredibly well. It almost feels like you're not even using a glove. And if there's one con I will say of this display, I would like to see an extra dim mode. I don't see it in here. OnePlus was going to take advantage of the multitasking features, so you do have the ability to bring an application in like that and then go ahead and grab another one like that. So if you're doing multiple calculations because you're a math wizard, you can go ahead and have two like that. Click right there. You can swap sides, and you can also save these as app groups. And they also have this pop view mode as well. You can go ahead and just kind of pull up like this for a floating window. Then you could float it around. You can also kind of tap it and it'll be kind of in its own floating mode. And you can minimize that as well if you want to use different applications So definitely some nice multitasking features over here on this phone. You could split screen from here as well. And then when you swipe through, you have a close all button, which is how I like it. Go on to software now. So you'll see about device, we are running Oxygen OS 15. This is combined with Android 15, but it's OnePlus's skin over the top. And it has plenty of customization features without feeling overbearing. So let's talk about the customization. So when you go to wallpaper and styles, you'll see they have these nice themes now. And they have a really nice wallpaper set. They've finally realized that wallpapers really matter, and they've had good ones before, but they have even better ones now. So let's go ahead and click wallpaper. You'll see they're divided into different sections: classic wallpapers, live wallpapers, sublime grandeur, and sleek, or it could be grandeur. Let me know if I pronounced that right. I don't know if I got that right. You'll see right here sleek wallpapers as well, aerial views, light and shadow views, and composition. I love this wallpaper pack on here because I feel like it kind of reminds me of like wallpapers you would pay a creator for, like who's making a nice wallpaper pack, but they're free. Right here on the phone, you don't got to pay for them. You just got to get the phone, which you are going to get anyway, and you get these nice, beautiful wallpapers. This is plenty enough to play around with. When you go over here, you'll see always on display. The enhancements go further. You can customize this. You can have personalized messages on there. And you have different clock styles. It can be spelled out. It goes on and on. But here's another one. You can customize the colors. You could do this before, and you could do this on other phones, but other OnePlus phones, but we're just talking about Oxygen OS 15. You'll see nice fingerprint animation. So the customization goes deeper here. So have different edge lighting modes as well. So like drawer modes, you can have a standard mode where you don't have the app drawer, or you can have the app drawer. Now the app drawer also has this alphabetical list over here, so you can kind of just swipe through like this. And there's a global search option if you would like to use that for this phone. I haven't used it yet, but there's definitely a global search option if you want to use that in the app drawer to give you more comprehensive search results. What I really like about the Oxygen OS is that you can go ahead and change the animation effects. If you want them a little bit slower and smoother looking, you could use these. But if you would rather have them more speedy, because you're like, those are too slow, you can just leave it on enhanced like that. And that's how I tend to leave it, because I like snappier animations personally. So as we scroll through, there'll be some basic sections like sound and vibrations. You'll see notifications and quick settings over here. And then if we scroll down more, you'll get your digital well-being. You'll get some smart battery enhancement features. We'll talk about those more later. Good customization, but it's not overbearing with the features. Swipe up here from the right and you'll see a ton of features in here. However, again, pretty cleanly laid out. You got your dark mode, adaptive tones, quick shares. You have more modes down here like super power saving mode. So we'll bring that one inside. You also see bedtime mode, clear voice mode. We also have some other apps, third party, that came in here, Zen Space, which I do like the Zen Space as well. That's a OnePlus exclusive. It allows you to take a break from your phone, and it actually will lock you out of your phone for a little while, so you can like get some break from using your phone too much, which a lot of people do these days. But we also have this share with iPhone feature, which is all new. It says OnePlus requires the notification permission for this, so we have to go ahead and turn on settings, allow notifications. And then if we go over here to share with iPhone, you can see right here that this is going to allow me to share files and things quicker with iPhone than ever before. So that's a pretty cool touch that they added there. On the whole, Oxygen OS really does offer quite a bit of customization, quite a bit of feature set without being overbearing, and I really do think it's something you're going to appreciate and like. OnePlus is promising 6 years of security updates with 4 years of major software updates. Now, that's not the longest out there, but definitely I think long enough for how long you're probably going to keep this phone. So pretty good. All right, when it comes to the performance, this is the area that I am excited to get going on my speed tests with. This phone has been flawless. And when I say flawless, I don't know if I've ever seen a phone this stable before. This phone has had 0 crashes in my time using it, perfect animations across the board, nothing lags. This phone is ridiculous. Every single app I've used on this phone is buttery smooth. Every single animation is buttery smooth. They've pulled off near perfection with performance here. I'm even saying over other flagship phones I've used, this phone is smoother and faster feeling than those. That's just the bottom line. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is out of here. This is the 8 Elite 3nm with a Adreno 830 GPU. And we'll be doing some more gaming and things like that in my speed test comparison. But man, this phone, guys, let me tell you, great heat management, butter smooth performance, amazing animations. It's basically flawless right now. Hopefully no updates mess it up, because out of the box, this thing is ridiculous. OnePlus is also bringing some neat AI features here. You have tools, writing tools here, AI assistants for notes. You can clean up, polish this. You can continue writing. They got these in here so they can generate some things for you. You can also hold right here for circuit of search. So they have those AI features. And then of course you can click the power button for accessing Gemini's AI. So those combination of features right there are really giving you a really nice suite of AI. Now you'll also be able to use ChatGPT or other chat bots if you want to. Those are in the Play Store. You can use that on basically any powerful Android phone these days. So that's not really a game changer. I don't feel like their AI suite is quite as extensive as some of the competition, but still, at least they're starting to offer a few neat AI features here for the OnePlus 13. And in photos, there's also an AI unblur. So if you go over here to AI editor, you can see they have a detail boost, AI eraser, AI unblur, and AI reflection eraser. So if you wanna go in your photo and, for example, you don't want this tree in here because it's in the way of the sky, you can erase that. Or if somebody photo bombs your photo, like a person walking over here, like there's a person there with a dog. I'm not sure you can see it. This is not really affecting my photo, but if this person was in frame and I didn't want them in there, I could just erase them out of there. So there's gonna be definitely some nice photo features with the AI as well. Two complaints have also been fixed with this phone that people have been complaining about for a while, and that is the non-ultrasonic. They would have the optical fingerprint sensors before, which I thought weren't bad at all, but they now have the ultrasonic, which this thing is super fast. Check this out. You barely tap it and it goes in. Let's see if we can get it from the lock screen. It sure does. Look at that. Look at that speed. One tap, you're in there. Amazing fingerprint sensor. That's also going to work better if your hands are wet and something like that. And speaking of wet, the phone's never really had IP68 in the past. This phone has IP68 and IP69 water and dust resistant. So the IP69 allows us to get hit by stream jets, like water jet pressure. Like, dude, this phone is never going to get messed up in water, even if you're in some insane water environments. Like let's say you're by the pool, you drop it, you pick it out of the water, it's going to be fine. Let's say you're doing some power washing of something outside, maybe your car or something, and you accidentally splash your phone somehow, you're good. Move on to the battery life. So we are looking at 6,000 milliamp silicone carbon battery. Also, if we scroll down here in the charging settings, you have quiet charging, bedtime charging. You can also do a reverse wireless charging to share that power with people. In addition to that, you can do smart rapid charging, which will charge your device faster using a genuine power adapter and cable. You can also use right here, battery health. You can see that they show your maximum capacity. Personally, I don't like maximum capacities because it gives me battery anxiety when they start getting low, but it is useful information if you want to keep your phone a long time and potentially know when it's low and when you need to change. You'll see right here, smart charging and charging limits. So you can smart charge this so it stops at 80. A lot of phones are doing this now. But nice battery section here. It does give you a lot of nice stats and data here. You can also change the battery modes between high performance, balanced, power saving, and super power saving. I keep it in balance. And let me tell you, this battery has been insanely good. Like, this is like one of the best Android phones I've ever seen in battery life. I'm getting like a whole day and then some, and I usually don't see great standby, but this one has great standby on Android phones. So this is the year I think Android phones are going to take it to the next level in battery, and it starts with the OnePlus 13. So I'm very, very happy here to say that I can finally use a flagship Android phone with better battery life than a lot of competing iPhones. That's just the truth of my experience so far. All right, now the cherry on top though is the very fast charging through the USB-C. 80 watts, this thing charges super fast. You can charge this thing in like 30 minutes from like 1 to like 100, nearly 100. Like, the charging speeds on here are insane, blowing the doors off the competition. So let's move on to the cameras. Triple 50 megapixel with a LiDAR sensor right there. And this glass on here on the camera lenses is supposed to be like, it's got this material that is supposed to like allow it to not have as much glare and reflections when you take photos. That's what I'm reading in my research. So if you do want a phone that doesn't produce a lot of like artifacts with glare and reflections, like maybe some other phones tend to do in certain lighting conditions, this might be a better phone for you. Going into the camera though, we definitely do have a flagship experience on here, just like we had before. But where it improves is now triple 50 megapixel over the OnePlus 12. And that makes for more balanced results. Before it was like 48, 64 megapixels. And what they've done is they've created a lens that allows them to get you 120 zoom. So even further zoom than some of the top zooming phones out there. So that is incredible. You also have some smart scenes. You have some really nice video modes. You can change the f-stops over here, depth of field if you'd like. Let's go ahead and get up out of there. We'll swipe out of there. At the top, all your camera settings are front and center. You have up to 8K, and they now can do 8K 30 video, so you can do that. And then you can do 4K at 60. You have a nice steady mode. It's called ultra steady to keep that video very smooth. And then you have different exposure settings, and you have sound focus settings as well. One area I would like OnePlus to improve is to put a dedicated pro video section down here. I understand we have some pro features, but I would like a dedicated pro video section. We do have this master mode right here, which will give you Hasselblad color and stuff like that, depending on what you're doing, and look very much like Hasselblad camera results, which is depending if you know what you're doing. So that's pretty nice. And then over here, you'll see we have portrait mode, and then we go to more. We have a ton of modes here. Night mode, high resolution mode. If you want a higher resolution photo, it's going to take more storage space. You can also shoot movie modes in this wide looking cinematic style video. Over here, you can also tweak things over here, which is kind of close to what I was saying about a pro mode, but that's a movie mode. You know, I want to change the aspect ratio there. I don't always want it in this mode right here, but you have grids, histogram, and this can produce some pretty amazing results. If you like that, maybe I'll shoot a couple videos in that mode to see how it looks coming soon. But you have a long exposure mode if you want to get some long exposure shots. Ultra, you have dual view video. So one of the great features I really like about this phone, you can go ahead and put a little video of yourself over there and record the back at the same time. Or you can do a rectangle like that, which looks pretty professional. A lot of people do reaction videos on YouTube like this, so you can do that as well, all straight from the phone. And then if we come out of here and go back to more, we do have tilt shift over here, and we have the X-Pan mode and doc scanner for scanning documents. So the camera is loaded. And then over there on top of that, if we go over to settings, we have watermarks, which I'll showcase in my samples, and more settings. And it's all right here in the camera, focus locking. So I would say this is going to be one of their most pro cameras yet. For sure. It's really high end, and it really does produce some great results, and better than I've seen on OnePlus phone before. So I think they're finally giving you results that rival top level phones, and no longer are you settling for a less than great camera. It really is. I do think the front facing camera needs some work though. It is good, but I would like to see this front facing video angle a little bit wider. In addition, I would like to see just closer, and this doesn't go just for OnePlus, this goes for the whole industry. I want to see cameras on the front that match closer to the rear, like give us the same quality on the front, because foldables have that advantage of you can use the rear cameras on the front. So I would like to see on these slab style phones to give us a camera quality that comes from the rear for the front. But take a look at some of my results that I took for this phone, and you decide for yourself if this is going to be a contender for you this year, the triple megapixel Hasselblad camera for the OnePlus 13. So here's some front-facing video with the OnePlus 13. You can get an idea of how it looks in the daytime with the sun shining. It's pretty good, I would say. This is one of those years where OnePlus has finally been starting to up it with the camera, and I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased. And while it's not the prettiest of days, we still have to test the camera out. So you see that bridge over there? We're gonna go ahead and see how good the zoom is here on video. That's 2 times, 3 times, 6 times, and let's see if we can go ahead and zoom in a bit more. 18x max. And you can see the street name right there. You also be able to see cars going by. Man, you can make out some detail. Look at the sign over there. It says no wake, I believe. Let's back it back out, and smooth. And we're back in. So now let's walk just a little bit. You can see there's my shoes. You can see a pretty stable video overall. This is definitely performing at a flagship level, as you would expect. But what I'm really impressed by is the continuous improvements that OnePlus is creating on their phones. This is the best yet, for sure. And it's now, I think, competing with the more flagship options on the market. Before it wasn't, maybe on the OnePlus 12, but OnePlus, I think, has struggled to be in the top tier. It's a great option. Let's get close on these not so alive leaves. But you can see the detail is all there for sure, and it's very smooth. So OnePlus 13 is phenomenal in the area of video. It also can do 8K video recording. So all the band support is here as well. We do have Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4. We do have really good GPS support as well, similar to other flagships. And all the band support for phone carriers is for the US, and this global model is pretty much here. In addition, while you can't buy this directly at carriers, you can buy it on the website. You can also buy it on Amazon and Best Buy as well. So there are areas and places to get it pretty easily. I think coming to carriers would help a little bit more getting this phone known. But you'll see right here, we do have ourselves USB-C 3.2 OTG, so that's also very quick. At the end of the day, I want to wrap it up here. We've covered every section. Audio is good as well. I didn't cover that, but that's good. And there is a SIM card tray as well. This is not eSIM only. You have both options there. At the end of the day, OnePlus has done it again. They've made another value performance beast here. Just like last year with the OnePlus 12, I was super impressed. This year, I'm really shocked at all the changes. In just 1 year's time, I don't really see phones that really do much changes, but I feel like this phone, unlike some other phones, actually feels substantially different on the materials on the back. The thinness, it's more closer to a flat screen, very close to a flat screen actually. It's nearly a flat screen already with just a slight dip. It feels thinner, lighter. It feels like it has a little bit of a different camera experience. It feels faster, smoother. It just has a lot of upgrades that make it feel like the next level over this phone, which was already really freaking great. So the OnePlus 12 was freaking great. If this was great, this is even greater. So while I'm not trying to say that there's no cons, there are some cons, and I mentioned them in this video. This is one of the phones that I've seen so far that actually feels pretty different compared to last year. A lot of other phone makers are kind of making the same exact product year after year. I'm not going to point out any names, but I like the difference in look and feel versus this versus last year. And I think it has all around some of the best specs, and it's a total package here. It really is. The camera's still probably not beating the best of the best out there, and they could improve some areas in there. Like, really is sitting at the top of the game. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you're picking up a OnePlus 13 this year, and stay tuned because I'm going to be covering the OnePlus 13R, and I'm also going to be doing some speed test comparisons as well, and it's going to be fun. So I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you very much for watching. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.